At the turn of the last century, government was still relatively small. Annual spending was still counted in millions, but that was about to change with the first progressive president, Teddy Roosevelt, who was a big, colorful guy with a big stick which he used in class warfare to bash the rich and bust up their companies. When there were no more biggies to bash, he got bored and quit and went on safari in Africa. That left Taft in charge, and he was no progressive. So upon return, Teddy was not happy and formed the Progressive Bull Moose Party to beat Taft, which he did, but Wilson had more votes. Wilson was a progressive with a class warfare that added more regulations, tariffs, supported unions against business, and supported racial preferences. He didn't like the Constitution and set controls on what you could put in your mouth and money you could keep, with FDA and IRS. In World War I, he sent the generals to Europe and created big new bureaucracies, the first propaganda department to explain away government imprisonments, control of railroads, banking, industry, farming, and tax increase to a maximum of 97%. After the war, spending stayed high, and with the enlarged government and taxes came the 1920 recession. Progressives were shunned, and Harding, then Coolidge, came in, cutting taxes, spurring on the roaring 20s. As everything grew, including government spending, Hoover came in with crony capitalism, scandal, and the 1929 crash, squashing the economy, but not government spending. FDR tried to legislate and spend the economy back on its feet, but the Supreme Court smacked him down. He tried to expand and control the court, and the Congress smacked him down. But retirement and death finally gave him his court. Spending and taxes grew to a max of 94%, but with all the money sucked out of the private sector, the economy didn't. Until... and FDR got busy with internment camps, increased propaganda, rationing, and full government controls. Then he died, and Truman ended the war with a... then promptly took us into Korea, and spending didn't go back down. I've got to change the scale now. Watch what happens to 45. Wow! FDR had permanently changed the size and scope of government. As the 50s arrived, the economy started to grow, as did spending. Eisenhower expanded and improved the interstate highway system as the fabulous 50s boomed. But the boom flattened and started to slide. Kennedy cut taxes, which started a recovery, got into a fight with Russia, sent troops to Vietnam, and got shot. Johnson started the Great Society with welfare, Medicaid, and Medicare, then escalated the war. The war went south, so did Johnson. Nixon in, to the moon, out of Vietnam, into China, into scandal, out of office, pardoned by Ford, who lost to Carter, who let Khomeini back, causing the hostage crisis, oil embargo, economic crash, and left the present, wait for it, for Reagan, who recovered the hostages and again cut taxes, starting recovery. As the economy boomed, so did spending, as Reagan grew military tech to spend the Soviets into history. Bush 41 made a tax promise, but Democrats said, let's compromise. More tax for future cuts. He did, they didn't. The economy slumped. He lost election to Clinton, who rode the high-tech boom towards bigger government people didn't want, and gets into scandal. Gingrich takes Congress, forces impeachment, welfare reform, and balanced budget. The tech bubble deflates, as does the economy, so Bush 43 cuts taxes, But terrorists strike, creating more damage. Bush strikes back with everybody cheering. As the economy and spending grows, the war slows and protests arose. Pelosi takes Congress and spending increases. As the government-encouraged housing bubble collapses, spending explodes as Obama takes a page from FDR's failed policies with the same results. No growth or jobs with huge deficits and debt.